Moments Jungkook tears up as Jimin gives his jacket and kisses an elderly fan's forehead in Boston. Hello everyone, and welcome back to JiKook Daily, your home for the latest Jungkook and Jimin updates, emotional JiKook moments, BTS news, fan reactions, and all the memorable moments that RMY continues to talk about. Today we have a Boston moment that has left many JiKook fans emotional. A fan-shared clip circulating online has drawn attention because of several heartwarming moments involving Jimin, Jungkook, and an elderly fan. According to viewers discussing the footage, Jimin appeared to share a particularly warm interaction with the elderly fan, including what fans described as a gentle kiss on the forehead. Another detail that caught everyone's attention was Jimin appearing to give his jacket, but that is only part of the story. Fans also began focusing on Jungkook, with some viewers saying that he appeared emotional and possibly close to tears while watching the situation unfold. That reaction quickly became one of the biggest discussion points among JiKook fans. Was Jungkook genuinely emotional in that moment? Was his expression connected to Jimin's interaction with the elderly fan, or were viewers simply interpreting a brief expression from a short piece of footage? Those are questions we need to approach carefully. And there is another reason this moment has touched so many people. Beneath all the excitement surrounding BTS, the viral posts, and the endless fan discussions, the center of this story is actually a simple human interaction between an artist and a fan. Jimin's apparent kindness toward an elderly RMY became the moment that made people stop scrolling. Then Jungkook's emotional-looking reaction added another layer to the conversation. By the end of today's story, we're going to look closely at what fans noticed, why Jimin's gesture became so emotional for RMY, why Jungkook's expression sparked so much discussion, and why this small Boston moment quickly became one of those unforgettable fandom memories. Before we continue, if you love Jungkook and Jimin, take a second to support JiKook Daily. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next BTS and JiKook update. Now, let's get into the moment everyone has been talking about. Boston has already been a major point of attention for RMY, with fans closely following BTS-related activities and every publicly shared moment surrounding the members. Whenever BTS appears in a new city, fans naturally begin watching for performances, arrivals, fan interactions, behind-the-scenes moments, and unexpected encounters. But sometimes the moments that become most memorable are not the biggest ones. They are the quiet moments: a smile, a wave, a short conversation, a kind gesture, or an unexpected interaction with someone who has supported BTS from a completely different generation. That is what made this particular clip stand out. The footage circulating among fans appears to show Jimin interacting with an elderly fan. While the available video may not provide the complete context of everything that happened before or afterward, viewers quickly focused on Jimin's gentle behavior. At one point, Jimin appeared to lean toward the elderly fan and give what viewers described as a kiss on the forehead. For many fans, that single gesture was enough to create an emotional reaction. The internet can move extremely quickly when a BTS moment becomes viral. Within a short time, fans can transform a few seconds of footage into thousands of posts, comments, edits, and discussions. And that is exactly what happened here. Fans began sharing the clip because they found the interaction heartwarming. Some described Jimin's behavior as incredibly sweet. Others said the moment reminded them of the warmth they often associate with him. And many viewers were especially touched because the interaction involved an elderly fan. That detail made the moment feel different. BTS has one of the most diverse fan bases in the world. RMY includes people from different countries, cultures, backgrounds, and generations. Some fans discovered BTS recently, while others have followed the group for many years. Seeing an elderly fan receive a personal and affectionate interaction from Jimin therefore carried a special emotional weight for many viewers. Imagine supporting an artist for years and suddenly finding yourself standing in front of that person. For some fans, even a few seconds of acknowledgement can become a memory they never forget. And when the artist responds with warmth and kindness, that memory can become even more meaningful. This is why many viewers were not simply watching the clip as another BTS update. They were watching a human moment. The focus wasn't on choreography. It wasn't about a chart. It wasn't about a stage performance. It was about Jimin appearing to make an elderly fan feel seen. That alone was enough to make people emotional. Then came the jacket. Fans also noticed Jimin appearing to give his jacket during the interaction. Again, we should be careful about explaining the reason because the available footage may not show the entire context. We cannot know exactly what Jimin was thinking unless he explains it himself, but the visible gesture immediately attracted attention. To viewers, the jacket looked like another example of consideration. A jacket is an ordinary object. But in a moment like this, it can suddenly become meaningful. When someone offers something they are wearing to another person, fans naturally interpret the gesture as caring. Some viewers saw it as a thoughtful response to the circumstances. Others simply appreciated the fact that Jimin appeared attentive to the fan. Whatever the exact reason behind the gesture, the reaction from fans was clear. They loved it. And the emotional atmosphere became even stronger when viewers started paying attention to Jungkook. Jungkook's expression became one of the most discussed parts of the footage. Some fans believed that Jungkook looked emotional. Others described his expression as if he were holding back tears. Some viewers thought he appeared touched by the interaction. But this is where we need to make an important distinction. A short video can show a facial expression, but it cannot automatically tell us what someone is feeling. We cannot confirm that Jungkook was crying simply because fans believed he looked emotional. We also cannot confirm that his expression was caused specifically by Jimin's interaction with the elderly fan. Those are interpretations. What we can say is that viewers noticed something in Jungkook's expression that they interpreted as emotional, and that interpretation quickly became part of the fandom conversation. This is something that happens frequently with BTS footage. Fans pay attention to tiny details because they care deeply about the members. A glance can become a discussion. A smile can become a viral clip. A small movement can lead fans to replay the footage dozens of times. In this case, Jungkook's expression became particularly interesting because of the emotional situation happening nearby. Fans began wondering whether Jungkook was simply observing the interaction, reacting to the atmosphere, or feeling emotional for another reason entirely. Without direct confirmation, nobody outside the members can know for certain, but the fact that fans noticed the expression tells us just how closely people were watching the moment. And for JiKook fans, there was an additional layer. Jimin and Jungkook were both present in the same situation. That naturally made the fandom even more interested. Fans began connecting the moments together. Jimin interacting with the elderly fan, Jimin appearing to give his jacket, Jimin appearing to kiss the fan's forehead, and Jungkook appearing emotional nearby. To many JiKook fans, the entire sequence felt incredibly wholesome. Some fans described Jungkook's reaction as touching. Others said they loved seeing Jimin show kindness while Jungkook appeared to watch the moment. But again, fans can interpret the same scene in different ways. One person may believe Jungkook looked emotional because he was touched by Jimin's kindness. Another may think he was simply concentrating. Someone else may interpret his expression as tiredness, surprise, or another emotion. There is nothing wrong with fans sharing those interpretations, as long as they are presented as interpretations rather than confirmed facts. And that is especially important when discussing celebrities' private emotions. We can celebrate what is visible without claiming access to thoughts that were never publicly explained. That makes the moment even more meaningful because we don't need to invent a story around it. The footage itself already gives fans plenty to discuss. Jimin's apparent interaction with the elderly fan is enough to make people smile. The jacket gesture is enough to attract attention. And Jungkook's emotional-looking expression is enough to make viewers pause and wonder what was going through his mind. Another reason the moment resonated with RMY is the idea of generations coming together. BTS's popularity has grown across the world, and their audience is not limited to one age group. An elderly fan being recognized by Jimin is therefore something that many people can relate to emotionally. For younger fans, it can be beautiful to see an older RMY receiving the same excitement and affection that any other fan might hope for. For older fans, the moment may feel especially personal, and for BTS fans in general, it becomes another reminder that music can connect people who might otherwise have nothing in common. That is one of the most powerful parts of fandom. A person in Boston can share a favorite artist with someone thousands of miles away. A teenager can stand beside a grandmother at a BTS event. Someone who discovered BTS years ago can find themselves sharing the same emotional experience with a fan who discovered the group much later. The music creates the connection, and moments like this bring that connection to life. That is why the elderly fan became such an important part of the story. The interaction was not just about Jimin, it was about the fan too. Behind every viral BTS clip is usually a real person experiencing something unforgettable. While fans online discuss the footage, the person who actually experienced the interaction may remember those few seconds for the rest of their life. That is something worth keeping in mind. For the elderly fan, Jimin's gesture may have meant far more than it appears to viewers watching a short clip on a phone. And perhaps that is why the footage affected so many people. It reminded RMY that behind the enormous stadiums, flashing lights, cameras, and worldwide fame, BTS members can still share small human moments with individual fans. The reaction online also demonstrates how quickly fandom communities respond to kindness. Fans are often watching for exciting performances, funny moments, and unexpected interactions, but emotional moments can spread just as quickly. A clip doesn't have to contain a huge event to become memorable. Sometimes the smallest gestures have the strongest impact. Jimin's apparent forehead kiss was one of those gestures. The jacket was another. And Jungkook's reaction became the detail that made JiKook fans look even closer. As the clip circulated, fans began discussing whether Jungkook had become emotional. Some viewers used words like tears and crying, while others were more cautious and simply said that Jungkook looked touched. The difference between those descriptions is important. If there is no clear confirmation that Jungkook actually cried, then it is more accurate to say that fans perceived his expression as emotional. That does make the moment less interesting. In fact, it allows us to appreciate it without exaggerating what happened. At JiKook Daily, that's the approach we want to take. We can enjoy the excitement. We can celebrate the beautiful fan interactions. We can talk about why a moment moved the fandom, but we should always distinguish between what viewers can see and what they believe it means. And this Boston moment gives us a perfect example. What viewers could see was Jimin appearing to interact warmly with an elderly fan. Viewers noticed what appeared to be a jacket gesture. They described what appeared to be a forehead kiss. They also noticed Jungkook's expression and interpreted it as emotional. Those observations created the story. The rest belongs to interpretation. And perhaps that is exactly why the moment continues to attract attention. It leaves room for fans to feel something without requiring a definitive explanation. For JiKook fans, the emotional connection is obvious. Seeing Jimin show affection and kindness toward an elderly fan while Jungkook appeared nearby created a scene that many fans found deeply touching. But beyond shipping conversations, there is a broader message here. Kindness can be memorable. Respect can be memorable. A small gesture can mean everything to someone. And sometimes the moments that fans remember most are not the carefully planned ones. They are the spontaneous moments that happen naturally. Boston gave RMY plenty of reasons to pay attention, but this particular interaction reminded fans that the most meaningful stories can happen away from the main stage. The elderly fan may not have expected the moment to become a viral topic. Jimin may not have expected every small gesture to be analyzed by thousands of people, and Jungkook certainly may not have expected fans to examine his expression frame by frame, yet that is exactly what happened. The clip traveled through social media, fandom communities, and fan accounts. People reacted, people shared it, people discussed it. And JiKook fans found another emotional moment to remember. At the same time, fans should continue respecting the privacy and dignity of everyone involved. Fan-recorded footage can be special, but it should not become an excuse to invent private details. The elderly fan deserves respect. Jimin deserves respect. Jungkook deserves respect. And the fandom can enjoy the public moment without turning assumptions into facts. That balance is important, because at the heart of this entire story is something surprisingly simple. An artist appeared to show kindness to a fan. Another member appeared emotional to viewers, and a few seconds of footage created a wave of emotion across the fandom. Sometimes that is enough. And as RMY continues sharing the Boston footage, the conversation around this moment will likely continue. Fans will keep replaying the clip. They will keep discussing Jimin's gesture. They will keep talking about the jacket. They will keep noticing Jungkook's expression. And JiKook fans will continue adding their own emotional reactions to a moment that, for many viewers, felt incredibly special. But no matter how many times the footage is replayed, one thing remains important. We should appreciate what we can actually see while leaving room for the things we simply cannot know. Because sometimes, a beautiful moment doesn't need a dramatic explanation. Sometimes, kindness is enough. And sometimes, the smallest moment in a crowded city like Boston can become the moment that an entire fandom remembers. If this emotional Boston moment touched your heart, don't forget to support JiKook Daily. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Jungkook and Jimin updates. And now we want to hear from you. What did you think about Jimin's sweet interaction with the elderly fan? And what was your reaction when you saw Jungkook's emotional-looking expression? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation respectful and positive. Thank you for spending your time with us here at JiKook Daily. Whether you're a longtime RMY or someone who simply enjoys seeing meaningful BTS moments, we're grateful to have you here. Until our next update, take care, stay kind, and keep supporting Jungkook, Jimin, and all 7 members of BTS with love and respect. This is JiKook Daily, signing off.